Yeah, I think so many guys are hung up on, like finding this virginal, perfect church going girl and blah blah blah. And I try to tell these guys, I'm like,
Oh yeah, no, yeah. So they're trying to invent a fictional woman that has an arousal system that rewards their fucking nice guy behavior. And this is a fictional woman that does not exist at all.
yeah,
This is a woman with no complexity and no capacity to hurt them. This and it's she's not even a complete person. That woman can't exist. Basically,
yes,
look,
it's
red
impossible.
pill guys that want the Virgin Mary, they want a woman that has not tasted what it means to be alive. That's what they want. They
Right.
want a woman that cannot hurt them.
Yeah, it's absurd. And they think they're gonna find her. And what I'm trying to tell these guys is like you don't find the perfect girl. You make the perfect girl for you because she follows your rules. She plays your game. You lead the way and you're the guy saying like, okay, it's my way, or you can find another guy. It's up to you.
Yeah, right.
And
This pair bonding bullshit with like high body count women are always gonna cheat. No, dude, they're not. They're gonna be hypergamous at what they're gonna do. So if
right,
they cannot replace you, they will not leave you. They will literally you can turn a hoe into a housewife if you are that dude.
exactly. And there's so many guys that want to opt out of learning that shit and then they just want to jump into a relationship. It's like, dude, you're fucked. If you get in a relationship not knowing game, you're not only are you going to get divorced, you're going to get railroaded financially, probably not going to see your kids. You're entering a world of pain.
It's not even her like she doesn't want to become this evil version. It's just that you hand over the power and they lack the emotional regulation to wield power responsibly.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and there's no sense in even blaming women for this at all. They're just being women. They're like, they're literally doing what you would do if you were them. You
Yeah,
know?
they're not evil, they're women.
Exactly. So the follow-up question he asked, are long-term committed relationships a dying breed? Is the future for a masculine, high-value man that knows his shit to always have a 5 to 10 side chick, rotation perpetually, who all want the same guy?
No, I say just two. Just a main and a side is good enough. Anything more than that is a fucking headache. Um, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So I would say zero or two, because one leads to one-itis. Zero, you can lock in on your mission, and two, if you can always you're just more okay to walk away. You're more willing to walk away. You just always need to be more willing to walk away. That's the
Yeah,
source of all male power.
I thought I would never be in a monogamous relationship again. When I was like 37, 38, I had a body count somewhere between 300 and 400. You know, had all sorts of relationships, anything you could name, I had tried it.
Right.
Dated a girl and we had,
Except for with a dude.
except for with a dude, exactly. Swinger girlfriend for a long time, multiple girlfriends living with me at the same time. And before I was into this, I was a raging golf nerd. Didn't quite get to like professional level, but played, NCAA in college and whatnot. And I didn't care about girls when I was into golf. And then funny enough, I had kind of gotten to a point in like around the age of 38 where I'm like, every time I am excited about a girl and then we start hooking up, as soon as I just continue doing what I'm doing, I start to lose my interest in her a bit, because I'm having more girls. And then I stop being like, it's very hard for me to focus on work and girls, right?
Yeah, spending your time with girls is a lot like doing drugs. It doesn't do much for you, and it keeps you away from getting shit done. Like you
Oh
can
yeah.
spend all day with a girl. What have you essentially done? You're just having a drug experience. It's just dopamine and oxytocin and vasopressin. You're just taking drugs, having sex and nutting. Like
Yeah.
you can't get anything done.
And when you're doing drugs in conjunction with that, which is what I was doing, then yeah, you're really getting nothing done.
It's
So
addictive too. It's just addictive spending all your time with a bitch.
totally. Yeah. So ultimately, when I met the girl who's now my wife, she was an interesting girl because she had the characteristics that got me excited. Like she was social, she was outgoing, she was fun, but she was also a nerd. She preferred playing online chess than going to a nightclub. But she would show up to the nightclub and have fun. right? So you would never know that about her. And then when we started, hanging out, we were friends first, and we had a mutual friend. That's how we met, through my social circle. And she knew I was like just an absolute, cad and a player and all that stuff. And she was like, okay, whatever. She warned her friend about me, and the friend's like, it's fine. He like, Robbie's dick is for everyone. He like, all these girls love him. It doesn't matter. Right. But eventually we both, she sort of became addicted to golf like I was, and she got me back into golf. So now we kind of have this addiction together, and we built stuff around golf and whatnot. But it's great. I got to the point where I was like, okay, if I could either choose one and then focus on everything else in my life that I want to, or I could stay on this sort of dopamine, hamster wheel of fucking and getting high and having fun and having variety and novelty. And so eventually I was like, I just don't care anymore. And
I've came so much. Right. Eventually you just realize that it just feels good, So
yeah.
So do you want to have a kid or not? Do you want to build this legacy or not? So I think that the way that that's going to manifest for me is that I'm probably going to find a woman that wants to have a child with me outside of having a relationship, like almost like a business arrangement about rearing it. I think that's the best way. That's in my mind a cool way to do it. Who knows how it's going to play out?
I've seen that work. I had a buddy who is a French guy, worth close to $1 billion. And he effectively, he found a girl who he thought would be a good mother, and then they had a couple kids, and he has, his arrangement to do whatever the fuck he wants when he wants to. And, he takes care of her, and she's totally comfortable. And, sometimes they fool around with other girls, sometimes they don't, or most of the time they don't. He's kind of off doing, living his life and
doing billionaire stuff. Yeah,
exactly. Skiing, hella skiing and hanging out in Dubai and whatnot. But yeah, and I've seen that work for a lot of other guys that are not a lot, but like a few select guys who can pull it off.
It takes a lot of resources, obviously. Yeah, I definitely need to have. I need to have kids. It's literally the goal as a human, right?
Right.
I have to
actually haven't announced
I have to fulfill this biological benchmark.
Yeah, I haven't announced this yet. I guess I'll do it now. We've got a little girl on the way.
Hey, congratulations, bro.
Thanks, man. Yeah. So my wife.
So that how are you gonna raise a girl?
Dude, I think it's like God or higher power, whatever you believe in. I think it was like his way of saying, to me, like I knew it was gonna be a girl just based on, like this work. It's like, here's your challenge. And I've always loved women. I've never had like any sort of chip on my shoulder. My mom's great. I have 2 little sisters, and I've never been to.
I have a healthy relationship with women. Like guys think I'm a misogynist. No, I'm not. I love women.
You're just realistic. Exactly.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. I understand them.
And I'm stoked because they always say like being a girl dad, you've got a stronger connection. The girls tend to get closer with the dad. The boys get a little closer with the mom.
I would teach my little girl how to manipulate men. Honestly.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, like I would want my little girl to grow up to be a powerful woman,
Exactly. And if you're just like my wife, her dad is amazing. He's, play chess with him. He's like, he's a dude's dude. And she grew up with that like loving father figure. And I see, it's daddy issues. It's almost like a trope, right? It's so painfully obvious. Like the girls who struggle with attachment issues and who make the worst partners, like they never have like a loving father figure.
Yeah. I think they never really learned how to respect a man.
Exactly. I think that's the crux of it. Well said. Yeah. It's just like, they see men as like, they're lame. They don't show up for them. They're like,
men or women that have had a good father, they are usually good. They're good partners. Like they understand what it means to respect. But I mean, you have to live up your end of the bargain. You have to be that guy that she is obsessed with. But if you are that guy, she's going to treat you really well.
Right. Yeah. And she's got a model for what a guy should look like, like what a good role model should look like. So hard to find, it's hard to find a girl that doesn't have daddy issues. So, so the women that, you've dated recently and whatnot, how, what are your dating funnels look like, for a lack of a better word? Like, how do they come into your life? If you're not getting them from the Instagram groupie angle.
It exists. Social circle. Just
Mhm.
I know a lot of people. I used to be like, most of my lay count comes from like the EDM rave scene in Detroit.
Yeah.
Basically, I would just go with like a pretty bitch that I was even just like friends with, that I just hung out with, and I would basically friend zone and not show intent with any of the girls in the scene, and I would have a girl with me, and then like 3 Wednesdays later, I wouldn't have a girl with me, and I still haven't shown any intent. And all of these girls in the scene are like, why hasn't this guy that obviously can get a girl, why hasn't he shown me any intent? And they're all very fucking curious. So basically, from there, you just pick the ones that are the most compliant and you fucking pluck them into your bedroom.
Yep.
That's how I did it. And then so, well, the girl that I'm like seeing right now was a sugar baby.
Mhm.
And I flipped her, and I fucking, and for a while before this shit popped off and I started making money, she was supporting me with fucking like her sugar baby fund, you know.
Amazing.
But yeah, but
Yeah.
she's great. She's actually fucking great, bro. Like, she's extremely hypergamous. She's a hoe, bro. She's a fucking sugar baby. She's a fucking hoe, bro. But she has 2 BBLs, bro. But she's obsessed with me, bro. She'll do anything for me. She'll spend all her fucking money on me, bro. Like, so
After racking up a ton of experience, I realized like if a girl isn't at least aware of the sugar baby lifestyle, I can't date her, right? Like, she's just too green to the world. Like, if she hasn't exercised or at least understood that she could exercise her pussy pass, like, we're just never going to understand each other.
I think that they somehow deep down they understand it if they're beautiful, but
Right.
they're too the mechanism has to remain super invisible in their mind, right? They understand it, it's deep down, but they can't bring themselves to speak it out loud.
Right.
And also, I think this is dishonest. I like a woman that's at least a little bit honest about the mechanism.
For sure. Yeah, it's like, okay, we both know the game. We both know you're getting offers from this, disgusting guy with money to go to his whatever on his jet, or, to
And
his
we can both
Coachella
laugh
group
at it
or-
together.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
And then the
Most
guys
guys
who are
get
willing
so
to,
fucking intimidated by it. Like, why, bro? She's
oh
choosing
man.
you.
And it's the best when you know that she's spending their money on you. So it's satisfying. Yeah. Got it. So yeah, I mean, I'm so glad you said that, because I'm hounding all my guys in my community. Stop showing intent. Stop chasing these girls. Friend zone everybody, right? Like,
Friend zone girls, test for compliance, and then show intent once they show compliance. It's really that
right.
easy.
Yeah, and just mirror their behavior, and just let that flow all the way into
Yeah,
them
and
basically.
if you're okay with just being friends with her, this confuses her. This
Right.
makes her think that you're fucking something special. She thinks that she has to get you now. She needs that intent to feel validated. You haven't validated the bitch yet.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they fall in love, right? They fall in love with a guy that they have to feel is too good for them. Like, if she thinks she's getting, you're getting the better end of the deal, like, you're cooked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, there's one more question in the group that someone posted. Jay asked, curious to hear his view on what the best blueprint is to lead a fulfilling, well-rounded life as a man today. And here we talk about using social circle as a way to combine socializing, dating, and even a business networking opportunity into one. That's what I was talking about with your shtick. Other people just focus on one thing at a time, or get really good at one, dating funnel, like, day game, for example, which I think is crap. Others might say to focus on making money and the rest will fall into place after. So how does he think, or how do you think is the optimal way to set up your dating life and focus your attention to live the most fulfilling life?
So I think that you do need some kind of you need lead acquisition, you need lead flow, however that manifests for you, social circle, day game, a cold approach, dating. I think dating apps is the best way. You just have to get really good photos. All that matters is really good photos. If you get really good photos, your dating apps is going to get you a lot of dates and probably even find your fucking future wife.
Now, do you think if a guy's too old or too short?
No, it all depends on the photos. Your photos have to paint a picture that this bitch wants to be a part of. It doesn't even matter how hot you are. Like, is your life cool? That's all that it cares about. And you have good taste, and she can see your face very clearly, and you're not hyper chopped. You know how to dress. You have some masculinity. you have some
There's some
demonstration of high value.
there's some conflicting advice when it comes to, like dating photos, for example. It's like, because you could show social proof in photos, right? But then, a lot of the guys who specialize, I'm not like an online dating specialist, for example. So like, there's always a conversation in the group between, and this guy who wrote the post, he's very good at online dating. Like but he's not satisfied with the quality. He basically never gets above a 7.
He needs better photos.
You think? Because I feel like he's close to optimized, as good, but he's not showing any social proof. Would you recommend showing social proof in photos?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. They need to look. They have to be like, ooh, I want to be a part of this guy's life. That's right. It. They have to be. And that probably has some social proof in it.
Yeah, when I was, using online dating for a minute, like it was a couple photos of me, and then me at Burning Man with 5 hot girls and another dude, me on a yacht with like 8 girls and like 2 other friends. Like, so they were tasteful. It wasn't like, I have a photo with me and 18 girls around me half naked, but I was like, okay, that's a little too aggro maybe. But it was very social proof geared. And there's a lot of guys who are like, no, I don't think that's, I think girls don't want that. But my thoughts have always been like, nah, the ones that you want, they do want that.
Bro, my Hinge profile is literally me with a girl. I have 5 or 6 photos with 6 different girls, just me and 6 different girls. That's my fucking
screen share.
I'm banned from Hinge, but
okay.
But that's what it was. Literally me with 6 other girls.
Okay, that's so funny because it's like breaking the quintessential rule.
The testing starts immediately. It's just you know what I mean? But then all you have to do is just pass the test like a fucking champ, and then they're like, all right, I get you're probably look, girls like you. I might as well.
I'm so glad you told me this, because I'm gonna crush all these guys in the group who are like, no, you can't do that. Like, you can't show a girl.
But here's the thing: it invites women that just want to test. The tests are gonna be fucking crazy, immediately high. But right. But look, if they're testing you, they're interested.
Exactly.
Yeah.